Good afternoon and assalamu alaikum everyone. Welcome to another Club 100 video. We're at Clay Pigeon on the south coast of the UK, and as you might be able to tell, I'm on the inside. I'm starting from pole position. It is the first ever time I have secured a Club 100 pole. So you might be wondering, how on earth did I do it? Well, let me show you my fastest lap from qualifying. Here it is, a 41.096, completely flat through turn 1 on the left, jump onto the brakes, clip the apex, and then just try to carry as much speed as you can. It is pretty much flat through this chicane, just a tiny lift, and again, use all of the circuit. Cart back over to the left, and then hard on the brakes down into the hairpin. I do miss the apex, but Clay Pigeon is all about carrying as much speed as possible. So we go a bit wide, but we carry loads of speed, nice and smooth through this double left hand, and just try to open up the steering as much as you can. Flat through the right kink, and then a quick dab on the brakes. Try to spot your apex through the long right hander, and get yourself a nice little tow from your old buddy Josh Wood to get yourself the fastest lap of qualifying. But with that said, it is time for the race, and yes, I was starting on pole. Yes, I was nervous, but I was feeling good. We've had some good success in Club 100 as of late, and I was looking to build on that. The perfect getaway, we're able to move on over to the outside instantly and get a clean run through the opening couple of corners. And at this point I was thinking, great, that's the first part of this 30-minute race done. What do I need to do now? I need to get my head down and I need to put in quick, consistent laps. That's what this is going to be all about, and just try to get my head down to pull away from Jack O'Neill. But unfortunately, Jack O'Neill had Andrew Graham pushing him along, which meant that I wasn't trying to pull away from one person. I was essentially trying to pull away from two, because the slipstream at this circuit is ridiculous, as you might see a little bit later. So on lap 8, up the inside goes Jack O'Neill, and to be fair, I'm going to say I held on to the lead for 7.5 laps, which I think is relatively impressive, so I will take that. But now I was thinking, okay, Jack is through, I'm the one pushing Jack along. If I work with Jack, I can pull away from Andrew Graham, and then I can try to battle with Jack for the race win and not have to worry about third. There you can see the slipstream coming into effect. There's a really big headwind on the start-finish straight at Clay Pigeon, which is why slipstream is so impactful. But I was just trying to push Jack along as much as I could, and again you can see that slipstream coming into effect on the run into this hairpin. Again, all my thought was just try to stick onto Jack's bumper, but I was really struggling through this horseshoe. You can see how much time I'm actually losing on corner exit, and it was just a wee bit frustrating. The other thing is I could not take that final corner to save my life. Again, you can see that slipstream really starting to come into effect towards the end of the straight, and this is where I was particularly strong on the circuit, through the first 3 corners, turn 1 and then this chicane. Then I get in the slipstream and I'm pushing Jack along once again, and I'm thinking, okay, this is good. I just need to keep on doing this. I need to keep on hooking up the laps. Don't get impatient. Don't try to do anything crazy. Wait for the opportunity to come. But again, it's through that corner, the horseshoe, where I'm losing time. And what it meant was I was 2 kart lengths behind Jack O'Neill coming through the final corner, which meant I wasn't getting slipstream on the most crucial part of the circuit. I needed to be that little bit closer, and on the start of lap 15, again, that gap has kind of stayed the same, but he makes a mistake. Apparently he got a leg cramp, which messed up his braking, and I'm not going to need a second invitation. I'm going to jump back into the lead of the race. I'm thinking, right, I've got my head down, I've been watching Jack for a bit, now I need to put in those quick laps, but I was straight back into the 41.7. So if you look back at the lap times, I was doing 41.7s before Jack overtook me. Once Jack overtook me, I was doing, I think, 41.5s because I had a bit of slipstream. Now that I'm back at the front, I don't have that slipstream. I'm back into the 41.7s, 41.6 on this lap, and now I'm starting to go a bit defensive, but that does not stop Andrew Graham from going up my inside. Jack O'Neill will follow through. I have to back out, and I'm thinking, okay, it's fine. I've still got a really big gap to 4th place. It's a 3-way battle for the win. I'm just going to get my head down, not do anything crazy. But I was worried that maybe Jack would get past Andrew and the two of them could work together and pull away from me, because seemingly they were faster than me. And again, it's through this horseshoe that I do just struggle that little bit. Not this time around, I seem to have taken a little bit of a better line, but through the final corner, I keep trying to go for this slightly wider line, and you can see the two in front of me. I don't know, their slipstream's just more effective than it is with mine, because I think they're a bit closer together. So, I don't know, and it just felt so hard to keep up with them for that reason, because I was quicker through the first couple of corners, but in the final section of the circuit, they were faster than me. So every time we got onto the start-finish straight, they would be a 2 kart lengths ahead, and they could bump draft each other, but I was too far behind to join in. And then I'd catch up through this part. Coming out of the horseshoe, I would then lose that 2 kart lengths, and we're back to square one. And again, just trying to push too much into the final corner, trying to gain that time that I just think wasn't there. And again, now we're 3 kart lengths behind, and this just rinses and repeats every single lap. And you'll see again, these two aren't battling, but I catch up through turn 1. I catch up through this chicane. This is where I'm good, but it just doesn't work, because as you'll see, I'll be right on their bumper pretty much coming through this corner, even though they're battling. But I'm gonna guess, coming out of the horseshoe, as per usual, I'm just going to fall back. I mean, look at that. I can't get the drive. I don't know what I'm doing wrong. I don't want to blame the kart, because I feel like I wasn't driving it right. And then through the final corner, again, I'm those 2 kart lengths behind, and they just pulled from me on the straight. And it was so frustrating being in the car, because I was racking my brain. I was trying to think, okay, how do I find this extra time? Because I feel quick through the first half of the circuit, but I can't figure out how to get into the slipstream on the start-finish straight. And I then saw the back markers coming up, and part of me was thinking, okay, maybe if they get caught up behind the back markers, I can close in. But now I'm not even close to them going through the horseshoe. They're going to pull away from me, and now I'm 4 or 5 kart lengths back. I'm a second behind going into the final corner. In the final corner, I was messing up on my own. That definitely had nothing to do with the kart, but I can't figure out what was going wrong through that horseshoe. It was really frustrating, guys. I'm going to be honest. I was crying under the helmet because I could just feel the race slipping away. And yeah, that's just how it went. And now we're on to the final lap of the race. I think you can't even see them. They've just gone through the chicane. You can see them. They're still working together. They're pushing each other along. They were consistently doing 41.2s, 41.3s. I was doing 41.6s. Maybe 41.7s. I was losing 3/10 a lap. I've fallen about 4 seconds over 20 laps. So I don't know. I don't feel I could have done much more. Maybe I should have been able to stick in the slipstream, but I just don't think I had the pace. They were just quicker than me. I was a bit lucky that I hooked up a lap in qualifying and they didn't, or I got slipstream and they didn't. I got pole, which was a cool achievement, but I just did not have the pace to hack it in the race compared to Andrew and Jack. And fair play to them, they worked together brilliantly, and I just wasn't invited to the party this time around. So sad, lonely, milky cereal for race 1 at Clay Pigeon. But with that said, SP60 is 60 minutes. There are 2 30-minute races, and heading on into the second race, I'm starting from third. Third is good because I'm on the inside, which meant I knew I could get past Andrew Graham through turn 1 and then try to work with Jack O'Neill to pull away from Andrew Graham. In fact, you know what? Sod working with Jack O'Neill. I need to overtake him and I need to pull away from him. But I knew it's another race. I've got an opportunity to learn from my previous mistakes and go that little bit quicker. So with that said, here we go. I need to be ready for this race start. I need to make sure I am glued to the bumper of the Titan Motorsport representative. And here we go. A very good start. I'm pretty much on the bumper. I'm not loading. I'm not really pushing until now. I've got the inside. I brake nice and early, but I get a push from behind. And that allows this driver to go through. And I was fuming because I had nailed the start. I'd given myself a little buffer so I could get a good run through turn 1, and I got pushed wide. And I was thinking, you have got to be frigging killing me. I should have seen it coming. I should have braked a little bit more before the apex so I couldn't get pushed wide, but I was just thinking of getting the run and catching up to Jack through the opening corner. Now I'm like, okay, I need to get past this guy as quickly as possible. I get a really good run through turn 1. I'm going to try to sit on this guy's bumper because I was feeling quick. I knew that I could win this one, and he's going to defensive, so I know, right, I'm going to get the switchback through turn 1. That's exactly what we do. And now I'm like, right, time to catch up to Mr. O'Neill. I am ready. I'm in the zone. I'm wired in. And then when I go on the brakes don't work. And then they lock up. I lose the rear end. I lose 1-2 positions. Greg Smith now tries to overtake me. I think he turns across me. I know Greg disagrees with me, but in my opinion, Greg's the one overtaking me. He needs to leave me room, but he doesn't. I'll let you guys make up your own decisions about it. But now I'm in 4th, and I'm just thinking, you've got to be blooming kidding me. Like, I can't really say much more than that. And I can see Jack's got in the distance, and I'm thinking, right, that's it. That's the race gone. It's a half-an-hour race. Maybe I can catch him, but it's going to be near impossible. I've got 2 people to overtake. I need to get these moves done quickly because I was feeling so quick on that opening lap, and it's all just gone down the drain because brakes didn't work. There's a yellow flag out, so we back off a little bit going into this corner. However, we do get a really nice run on exit because we go slow in because of the yellow flag, get a really good run out. We're able to gain the position on corner exit. We're up into 3rd place. It didn't cost us any time either. And now I'm in 3rd. I can see Andrew Graham ahead, and I'm thinking, okay, Andrew's fast as expected. Let's see if I can catch up to him. I can push him along. We can catch up to Jack, or maybe... Oh, I can't hope that Andrew catches up, but I want you guys to have a listen to my car because we're in a yellow flag. I don't know about you guys, but I definitely lifted like 3 times. However, I still got a penalty for speeding under yellows, and I'd just like to bring up the rules on this. Drivers are expected to acknowledge the yellow flag by raising their hand and by slowing down. Raise the hand and slow down. That is the extract from the Club 100 rules. However, I got a penalty for speeding under yellows. Yes, I'm salty. No, I don't care if I'm salty because I slowed down, and I'm really miffed that I got a penalty for speeding under yellows. Yes, I did catch up to Andrew Graham. Don't get me wrong. He did slow down, but so did I. And the rules say to slow down, and I slowed down. But because I set my personal best of the race, because it's lap number 4 and none of my other laps were good, because opening lap, half spin, and lap 3 I slowed down for another yellow flag. So because I got my fastest lap of the race under that yellow flag, which obviously I'm going to get, apparently, therefore I was speeding and driving reckless. So anyway, I'm going to drop that now. I think I've made my point. We're on the back of Andrew Graham, and now I'm thinking, okay, I need to get past, because I know I'm quicker than him. I'm sitting behind him, and I'm feeling faster. And you can see how much I'm catching on the exit out of the horseshoe. So I think I've got a good car. Actually, to be honest, I think Andrew might have had a bad car, one way or the other. But for some reason, I just couldn't follow. I don't know what it was about Clay Pigeon. Like, at Ella Park, I could sit in someone's wheel tracks, no issue whatsoever. Here at Clay Pigeon, though, I couldn't do it. I don't know why. Whenever I was driving behind someone, I couldn't sit in their wheel tracks. And you'll see it here with Andrew, right? I'm pushing him along. I brake that a little bit earlier so I can try to get a good run through the corner, but I just can't stick to his bumper on corner exit. Even here into the horseshoe, this time I get a good run through the corner. I am able to sit on the back of Andrew, but this is where the exit matters. Coming through the final corner, I try to brake early to carry the speed, but I just can't find the grip. I can't get the drive, and I should be glued to the back of Andrew Graham right here, pushing him along, but I'm not. And it put me in a really difficult position because if I had the pace, if I was able to stick to the back of Andrew, I could push him along, we could catch up to Jack O'Neill. But because I didn't have the pace to push him along, all that's happening is I'm losing time behind Andrew Graham, because the places where I should be quick, I'm stuck behind him, and the places where we could work together, I can't work together because I'm not on his bumper. So I need to get an overtake done and just try to catch up to Jack O'Neill on raw pace alone, which is really infuriating because I couldn't get this one bloody corner right. Again, you can see Andrew just rockets out of the corner. He just gets the apex right. He carries the right amount of speed into the corner, and I'm not. And I figured out how to get the corner right in the enduro and sprints. Again, sprints video is coming out later. I'll leave a link to it. Well, actually, you can click it over here. I'll try to get that edited in. So yeah, really frustrating because I was quicker than Andrew, but not in the right places to push him along. And yeah, that was just infuriating. And it meant I was kind of in this limbo position where I was stuck behind Andrew. I was losing time. I was putting in 41.9s when I probably could have been doing 41.8s, 41.7s like I was in the previous race, despite the fact that the track is actually slower than it was in race 1. But I just couldn't do anything with it. And again, here now I've got like a two kart length buffer to Andrew. I'm able to set this quicker lap, this 41.7, because I can just try to reel him in without having to, you know, brake that little bit early so I don't run into the back of him in braking zones or anything like that. And it was just a really weird day because, as I said before, I was kind of in limbo where I felt like I had the pace but not enough to close up to Jack, and I just felt like I couldn't do anything. It was just really frustrating, and it was frustrating at the time in the car. It was frustrating afterwards. There's a penalty on the board for that lap 4 speeding under yellows. Again, 41.6, so Andrew and myself were starting to put in some good lap times, but again, I can see Jack's in the distance. I know I'm not really catching him, and now I'm wondering why am I not catching up to Andrew Graham either, because I felt like I was before. So I think Andrew's just got himself wired in, zoned in, and is just putting in some really quick and consistent laps. I wasn't looking behind me because I didn't think anyone was really closing into me. Someone was close to me, we'll see that a little bit later, but I was just focusing on trying to catch back up to Andrew Graham here. Again, 41.6 on this lap. Next lap, 41.9. I don't know if I catch a back marker or if there is a potential yellow flag that we slow down for. Again, lifting into the chicane. Oh, there's a mistake for Andrew Graham. He's going to go defensive. That's why this is a 41.9. And I'm just thinking, right, I need to get through on Andrew. I don't know why, but sitting behind Andrew, I just wasn't going quickly. He's going to go defensive into the horseshoe. I'm going to get the run and just try to push him along, right? It's almost like there was dirty air, and you don't get dirty air in karting. And again, I'm trying to take that late apex. Most circuits, if I sit behind someone, I'll brake that little bit earlier. I'll then get on the power early, get a late apex, and, well, I'll get a good exit, but I couldn't do that through the final corner at Clay, and it was killing me. But through the chicane we go. I've got a pretty good run this time. Can I go up the inside? Andrew's going to leave the door open, so up the inside I go to pull off the overtake. I take my racing line, Andrew's got to slide behind, and now I'm thinking, okay, maybe Andrew can push me along, right? Maybe we can work together to catch up to Jack O'Neill. But you can see how far Jack is at this point in the race, 13 laps. There's a reason why Clay Pigeon is his home track, and he's very good here, and yeah, that's why, just consistently putting in those laps. But 41.6, now that we've got ourselves into clean air again, I wasn't really gaining any time behind Andrew, right? I wasn't gaining time from slipstream, motivation of trying to catch a driver. It was just really bizarre and odd. I can't really phrase it in any other way than that. There were a few more yellow flags after this, and I was able to catch up to Jack by a couple of seconds from those, because he was lifting off massively and I was lifting off a little bit. I didn't know that the penalty I had at the time was for speeding under yellows. I assumed it was for, I assumed it was a mistake for a contact warning or cone penalty. But skipping ahead, I don't know what lap this is. You can see I've closed into Jack. That's not from pace, that is just from abusing yellow flags a little bit. And then up my inside goes Greg Smith. I didn't know he was there, but he went up my inside. I very quickly reacted, got a lovely switchback on him, retook the position, you know, didn't turn into him. Sorry, Greg, had to be said. But moving on to the final lap of the race, Since Greg got past me, I've kind of somewhat maintained the gap to Jack, but yeah, I just did not have the pace, which is really frustrating because I felt like I did, but it's that 1/10 a lap or those 2/10 a lap. It was just that final corner, because in the endurance I was fine. Drake Smith was still on my back end, so I went a bit defensive into the horseshoe just so that he would not go for the send. And yeah, into the final corner again, trying just messing it up. There's no other way to put it. Take the nice tight line to the start finish line, and with that we took second, but we had the penalty for speeding under yellow flag in quotation marks. So we ended up finishing this race in 4th, which also meant instead of getting P2 overall for the day, I got P3. Actually, it would have been P3 anyway, because Andrew Graham would have been in 3rd. So yeah, I'd say it's a learning experience, but I don't know what I've learned. The pace was almost there. And to be honest, the fact that I'm upset that I finished 2nd behind Jack O'Neill is, again, it just shows how much the pace has improved since last year. But we are there or thereabouts. So next round at Rissington will be another race, and hopefully we can get dialed into the circuit really quickly and take the fight to Jack O'Neill and the returning Fraser Brunton, who will be back from his trip to Thailand, from Thailand or Vietnam, wherever on earth he went. Hopefully he ate loads of food and he's really fat and overweight and he forgot how to kart and I can beat him. What am I talking about? I'll beat him anyway. But yeah, thank you guys very much for watching. Sorry, Fraser. Thank you guys very much for watching this. There'll be another video out soon for the sprints race from Clay Pigeon, which was the day after this. It was very good. There were lots of overtakes. It was fun. Make sure to watch. Don't forget as well to leave a like and subscribe as well. I'd also like to thank my sponsors of, well, no one. If you'd like to sponsor me and give me some money so I can do karting, feel free to do that. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. I'll see you all in the next video. Toodaloo!